All right, so this is our initial session with Mr. Bo here, and I want to talk about our first step. This is actually your first step here, and with accelerating in your first 3 to 5, actually your first 3 to 5 seconds, that's going to be your acceleration phase. Okay, and in that phase, you want to make sure that your ground contact is behind your hips, and as you see right here, you are touching the ground in front of your hips. Your hips are right here. If I can draw an arrow, there you go. Your hips are right there, and your ground contact is right here in front of your hips. Okay, whereas where you really want to have your ground contact behind your hips, and by touching the ground behind your hips is going to allow you to push force away from you, and allowing you to run that way. Okay, so that'd be the first thing that we're going to actually go over in our next training session. Will be how to properly accelerate, and so that way you can immediately get a faster time. Just learn the mechanics of acceleration and correct that. Okay, so it's moving on again. This ground contact is still you way out in front. Okay, so you're pushing. You're actually just landing your feet and going to your next step. Whereas remember, in acceleration, it's going to be push, 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 push. I know we haven't talked about this yet, but we will go over it. That's the gist of that. I'm not gonna beat it down. All right. Looking at your arms here, you are crossing the midline of your body. So if you look at this arm right here, your right arm over here, it's crossing the midline of your body. When you're sprinting, you never want to cross the midline of your body. In the next video, I will go over it and look at exactly what midline, but midline is basically if I'm facing you and you cut yourself in half. The right side arm should never cross the midline of the middle of your face, and the left side should stay on the left side also as well. So right now you have a little external rotation going side to side, and if you're trying to go forward and your body is moving side to side, obviously you're gonna be slowing yourself down. Okay, so we'll go with some arm action drills too as well to cover that. So moving on, and another thing here, cross the midline too. Now, definitely when we're sprinting here, you want to have bigger arms. All right, so those thumbs are gonna go what I call from cheek to cheek. So as high as your right arm right here, as high as your cheekbone over here, and your elbow is actually pretty. It's not bad, but it can cut open up a little more aggressively. Okay, so that way you can get more force going. All right, everything's about sprinting is about being powerful and having force, and applying force to the ground appropriately, so that way you can run faster. All right, and you see you're just landing in front of yourself. So right here is a perfect example of ground contact, and then your hips are right here. I get that. So where your foot is, this line right here, this long line should be the line that your foot should be actually contact the ground. So right now you are just catching all your body weight and trying to run and just catching your weight, and you shouldn't be catching weight. You should be pushing down the track. All right, and you should still have a forward lane as well. So we have a lot to cover on acceleration. I will keep this probably about this right now because it's so much to talk about. But the key things to remember when we train in our next session, we're going to talk about arm action and acceleration mechanics. All right, so I'll see you guys in the next video.